Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. You're watching This Faithful Dollar. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Ave. I'm a wife, I'm a mom of two, and I am self-employed. And today, as always, we are working on getting my finances under control so I can start building my dream life. For me, that looks like no more debt, building a nice savings account, and ultimately being able to give back. Today we are setting up our budget for the month of August. Let's get into it. All right, everyone. So we are officially in the month of August. That is so mind-blowing to me. But we are officially in August, which means we need to go ahead and get our calendar set up, get our budget set up. And if you've been with me at the start of my journey, I already told you guys that I decided to start a small business just to be able to contribute to our household, to help my husband when needed, and of course be able to contribute to some of our goals. I decided to pay myself on the 1st and 15th of every month. This month is a little bit special, so I do believe I'll be paying myself on the 29th as well. Regardless, every check that I am paying myself, whether it be the 2 or the 3, I am going to split in half. That way I can be able to budget weekly. I experimented in July to see whether I like doing a bi-weekly paycheck breakdown or if I prefer doing it on a weekly basis. And I definitely prefer doing everything on a weekly basis, having money come in every week, if you will. I prefer that. Makes me a bit less anxious, and I'm just able to keep an eye on my finances a lot better, in my opinion. I'm gonna go ahead and speed you up and fill everything out, and then we'll talk about it once I'm finished. Calendar for the month filled out with all of our paydays as well as everything that's due within the month. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and do the highlighter method. This method, I believe, was created by the budget mom, and what she likes to do is highlight each payday in a different color and highlight the bills that need to be paid with that specific paycheck in that color. So I plan on paying myself on the 1st, and that means everything up until, I really need to put payday for each week, right? Since I am going to split those paychecks in half. So I am going to go ahead and just say I get paid every week. I am going to highlight the same check in the same color. It makes sense for my brain. So this paycheck needs to cover my daughter's tuition for school, Target, Michael's credit card, Target credit card, her Quicksilver credit card, and a subscription. These 2 paychecks here need to cover the Discover card, another subscription, Adobe Lightroom, my daughter's Bluey subscription, Google Storage, and YouTube Music. I put AES here, which is our light electric company, because sometimes I do take care of it. So I'm gonna highlight it. Most times my husband picks it up, but every time I know it's gonna be a spike in the in the bill just because of my excessive baking. I do contribute, so I'm gonna highlight it, even though I may not technically pay it, and my husband may. But yeah, so this 3rd payday I'm gonna highlight in this blue color, but that of course because it's at the very tail end of the month, that's most likely going to cover any September payments. So that is it for our paydays and bills that are due. I do also like to come in here and fill out any events that I know would probably cost money, like birthdays or birthday dinners that we attend, anything like that. But we don't have really anything coming up in August as far as I know. I'm actually going to get into the budgeting section of the video where I need to budget my entire monthly income. In the spirit of being more consistent and more on top of things, I am planning on doing some things differently than I did last month. So some of those things are, every month I'm doing a monthly budget breakdown. So what this means is I have my paycheck breakdowns where each paycheck, or every time that I pay myself, I am going to break that paycheck down, obviously, and allocate that money where it needs to go. But I am, at the start of every month, I am going to do an expected monthly budget breakdown. So what I'm expected to receive for the month, I'm going to break that down. So that's one change that I'm going to do, just so I can try and stay within the budgets that I have budgeted for myself. And how I like to do, or how I plan to do a monthly budget breakdown, is the expected income is, on a worst case scenario, the least amount that I would pay myself. How would I break up every category? Another thing that I plan on doing differently are weekly check-ins. So last month, I didn't track every dollar, but this time I want to come in and do a weekly check-in specifically in my wallet categories. So groceries, gas, spending, family fun, miscellaneous, things like that, eating out. I'm tracking that every week to know what I started with and what I spent. So that's another change that I'm making going into August. Another thing, I just spoke on it a little bit, but I am going to be more diligent in tracking every dollar. So that means I will be tracking all my cash spending, all the money that I pull out of my envelopes, I'm tracking. I did not do that last month. And of course, I am going to be tracking all my online spending. So in these trackers, apart from just the spending part of it, I'm also tracking extra money that comes in, or money that goes out of specific envelopes. So y'all know that I like to do a cash unstuffing, and sometimes I have to pull from other envelopes just to make up for the lack of money that was in a specific category. And I want to also track that. So I'm not playing this month. This month I am going to buckle down just so I can be able to reach our goals and really, really, really get down to the nitty gritty of where my money goes. So enough chatting. I don't want this video to be too long, but I am going to go ahead and speed you up and fill out this monthly budget breakdown. I'm going to fill out all my categories, and then I'll come back and chat with you about how I plan to break that amount up. Okay, so I filled out all of our categories. Let's go ahead and go over the top here. So I have checking account balance, cash balance, expected income, and then actual income, which of course would be filled out at the end of the month. So for our checking account balance, as of today, I have $120 in my checking account. My cash balance, if we take a look here, my current cash balance should be this $435, and where that number came from is all of my sinking funds, all the money that I have left remaining in my sinking funds, as well as in my wallet. I have $25 in my family fund category. With the $410 for sinking funds plus the $25, we have a cash balance of $435. Now, this is just for my knowledge. I'm not necessarily adding it into the budget, but it is just for my knowledge to stay on top of things. Now, what I expect to pay myself this month, worst case scenario, is $1,600. Now, most of y'all are probably thinking that that is not enough within a month to, cover expenses and costs. But if you've been following, I've been sharing that that my husband, he is the main breadwinner of the family. So this $600 is really just to take care of the necessities here. I did, of course, discuss this with my husband, see where my help is needed. So I'm covering basically these costs here while he covers all the big things. As being self-employed, and specifically a baker, you have your highs and lows of the seasons of the year. So you just never know, what you're going to get. But I do know this is the least amount that I would pay myself. So subscriptions is more so my bills that I pay for, which we discussed here. Debt, I am knocking out, or I am paying all the minimum balances for all the debt. If we want to make extra payments, of course we will. Cushion is just a checking account buffer. So I have this 120. I like to keep some kind of money in the checking account just in case. So I do plan on just beefing that up every paycheck that I get. $40 would go to subscriptions, $300 for debt, $40 for cushion, ties, $60. I am bumping this up just a little bit just because our church is working on a building fund and I want to be able to give to that as well. Groceries, my husband does normally take care of the bulk cost of groceries, but I like to have just a little bit extra for just in cases. So I plan on adding $200 to the pot. Gas, $180. Spending, $80. Fun, I'm not going to add anything because I do know that we are going to be adding to the fun category mainly through savings challenges. Miscellaneous, $20 for the month. Home, $10. Kids, again, I have saving challenges going to that, so I'm not really going to worry about it. Of course, if I'm able to pay myself more for the month, obviously these categories will be able to get some love. But for now, we'll leave it to savings challenges to fun. Date night, it has 10 in it already, and I like to have about $60 a month for date nights, so I'll add $50 this month. Food or eating out, $80. Now, if y'all been watching, y'all know that I spent I spent just around $300 last month on eating out. And setting this $80 is probably a little bit unrealistic, but I'm determined to cut down on my eating out. I am hoping, of course, that we get paid, that I'm able to pay myself more this month to be able to beef the eating out up, but we'll see how this works and me being mindful. I might have set myself up for failure yet again, but that's what I'm going to budget right now just because we have these other priorities and I'm just really going to work on my discipline. Wellness is $10 this month. Self-care, $5. Christmas, $200. That is a non-negotiable. School and birthdays would hopefully be funded through savings challenges. Vacation, we are going on a vacation at the end of September, so I really need to beef this up to do some shopping. So that's going to get $150. We already have $50 in a cash envelope in our sinking funds for vacation. Car care is also another non-negotiable. We have $45. I want to get it to $100, so we'll add $55. Vision, which is mainly glasses and an eye exam, $20. And savings challenges, I like to at least budget $100 a month to do $25 a week. Last month we were definitely able to do more. But again, this is worst case scenario. So if we add all this up, we should get the $1,600. Let's double check. All right, we did it. We got $1,600. And that would be on the worst case scenario, how I would break up the $1,600 for the month. Of course, at the end of the month, we would come in and fill out these actual categories that would happen with our August budget closeout. Another thing that I wanted to share with you all is my debt payoff plan. So right now we are working on 4 credit cards. So, we're working on a Michael's credit card. Yes, I have a Michael's credit card. Do not judge me. It's mainly for Christmas decorations, and this is why I'm trying to be proactive. So that balance is $281 with a $60 minimum payment. I believe it's like $57, but you know, I'm just gonna round up. Discover, we're at $1240. Minimum payment is $42, but I plan to pay about $50. We've done that already. Our Quicksilver card is at $2904. And that minimum payment, I believe it's like $137. I'm gonna round that up to $140. And I went ahead and paid that on the 3rd. And then this one here is Nelnet, which is my student loans. Right now it's in forbearance. I'm honestly, and I need to go double check, but I know that balance is around like $15,000. Right now, I'm not gonna worry about it until I pay off, obviously, the other 3. And I know, of course, that is a part of the snowball method, but the snowball method is supposed to be paying on everything, at least the minimum balance. But like I said, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. It's in forbearance, and I'm just gonna work on getting all these other things off, especially because we have like vacations and all those other bigger things coming up, and this is just gonna stress me out, if I'm being transparent. So I did want to come in here and show y'all the debt payoff plan for the month, the remainder of the year. And I made these trackers again for myself, and I'm just going to carry these pages over from month to month. So this is where we are so far. If we can make any extra payments, we'll add that in there, and then we'll just use our progress bar. So right now we're about 20% of the way of getting this $281 paid off. I know I had Target on. I know we put Target on here, but honestly, that balance is like $60 and it's done. I just paid that off last week, I believe. So yeah, that's it for that. So y'all, that was a short and sweet video, just setting up my budget with y'all and talking through all the changes that I plan to make going forward in August, all the adjustments. I am really going to work on my self-control when it comes to spending, specifically in this food category and all my impulse purchasing. I'm praying for a successful month within the business so that we are able to boost this up and just make contributions to extra things. Hopefully we can get some extra debt in there, as well as funding some of these categories that we weren't able to touch through the expected income. So that is it for today's video. I really hope y'all enjoyed. Until next time, be blessed, stay encouraged, and keep going. Bye.